Hi, beautiful beings of light. This is Yana, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And we're continuing right here in this magical month of May of 2022, but at the same time, lots of revelations, right? So many things surfacing that they've been hidden and kind of shoved under the carpet, and nobody could really talk about it. It was not allowed, right? So many people lost actually lives because of that, or they were bribed, now they're controlled, manipulated, they're pretty much blackmailed, okay? And time for truth, right? Time for liberation, time for justice, time to resurrect, or going back to that original constitution. And of course, time to go back to God, to source. We're children, right, of the eternal one. And we have the eternal, the divine spark within that sacred chamber of our heart, right, when you talk about chakras. So that's our connection that we need to now cultivate in this interesting the development, the war, right, the war over consciousness, all this hijacking. But we're dealing with AI, highly advanced, nano hybrid alien technology. And that's why it's going to be interesting now. What I'm going to talk about, again, it's not for everybody, right? What's the intro, nanotechnology coming from these injections. And of course in the military it was being applied for many decades, and here for the surface population and children now, I guess, getting picture what really has been happening for quite some time, and now things are transpiring, right? So we really need to be in our hearts, in our centers. It's all about soul connection, consciousness expansion, and just love conquers all. Okay, we're going to center ourselves, invoke the violet flame, make sure this platform is protected. Everybody watching this YouTube channel is protected. There are things to be, of course, concerned, and so probably many people also may receive triggers, and fear can kick in, but we're powerful beings. That's how we were designed. That's why we're going to our original self, right? That original divine blueprint, the ETs, the good ETs, the good ones, right? They're here helping us to either disassemble or neutralize that kind of technology that was put into us even as a babies, right? Infants or children, and going to school, and you gotta be this, and also happening in Eastern Europe. And then here I can see their proliferation. I can see how it was really also done in a massive scale, and all these exaggerations, or also the over sexualization, and the agenda of those negative ones, compared to, I would say, kind of where R grew up. Okay, I'm sure there were parts of Eastern Europe, like Romania, probably Bulgaria, that was not that pretty. But I chose pretty much like a peaceful place. Again, things, my videos are for educational, right, entertainment, informational purposes. I'm here to inspire you, empower you. I'm giving information the way I interpret it through my soul signature, energy signature. Of course, the information I'm sharing with you guys, it's based on direct experiences, right? I've been dealing with the nanotechnology. I'm dealing with the ETs. I've been also dealing with those aliens, and just constantly, that inner war that was within me. Just kind of what in the world I was asking this etheric technology, what in the world, kind of happened to my body. I don't understand. And all these antennas and all these interesting, the wires that was put into my brain through astral plane. Guys, mostly when I talk about things, because we're such high dimensional beings, so for me, physical body and astral plane is almost like one, right? So it's not only like physical things that have been happening to me, or things that are transpiring. We need to open our psychic abilities and see that we're multidimensional beings. Okay, and of course, being a warrior, right? So my videos are for spiritual warriors and truth seekers. Okay, the guardians. I also Part of it is the Guardian material that I read from Lisa Renee or Ashayana, right? And so this is extremely highly advanced knowledge that I'm sharing with you and bringing here to this physical plane, right? And kind of, I think I'm very practical, so just trying to kind of explain it in a kind of simpler way and how it affects our day-to-day life. Okay, so this is kind of my, I would say, goal and maybe even my gift. Okay, so making something that is cosmic way up there, just kind of make it here understood in this physical plane very simply. Okay, practically, but to the point. And so my soul trap, right, the military, dealing also with the veterans. I mean, the project for the military, for the warriors, for the Indigo warriors, the galactic ones, highly advanced souls who ended up in extremely painful, traumatic situations because of the recruitments, right, the planetary corporations, the whole military industrial complex, the MC, we talk also DARPA, the interplanetary corporations, the secret space program, all these experimentations, and where's the informed consent? How come we didn't know that there was the agreement or the treaty back then in 1950s, right? Whether with the Zetas or with the Dracos, right? Because we're dealing with their technology, and I told you we're running their technology is running based 10 mathematics, like 10 dimension, right? And the Anunnaki 11 dimension. That's why we need to those who are here on that Christos mission, who are volunteer souls, advanced souls, we have to be in our avatar selves, right? And now with the solar rishis coming back online, we have so much help, but that's a lot. I have the Ascension Guardian protocol, right? That's what I've been practicing for quite some time, so I'm just recommending that. But being in your heart, being in your center, being in your core, just start feeling that love that is within you, right? There's this spot that nobody can touch, okay? That's the gift from God. So cultivating connection to God, to source, that's the key in these very interesting, like challenging but at the same time exciting times, right? Because also the bifurcation of consciousness, right? By the same time people will be flipping, we never know. So being neutral, divine neutrality, 0 point balance, right? The God matrix, the source of our genesis, okay? That's the way to go. So again, like centering ourselves, breathing, the spine is straight. Immediately when I close my eyes, I feel the pineal gland and feeling the third eye. That's the area between the eyebrows. The tongue is touching the upper palate. Of course, I sit in my yoga position. I used to do lotus position, right? We're activating the lotus structure in our heart and in all our energy centers, our chakra centers. It's like a whirlpools of energies, extremely powerful. That's how we connect to other dimensions, right? And with all these colors that form the rainbow. That's why the work that we're doing, we are also correcting the sacred geometry, bring everything right side up. And through breath, the inner work, invocation of the God flame, that's what we'll do. You can achieve a lot. So the inhalation, pause, right? The exhalation, doing it each and every day. Remember breath, prana, chi, energy, life force. That's how you can connect to your higher self. Feel your intuition. The divine feminine is here. And then grounding those energies, whether walking on the beach or being in nature, hugging a tree, listening to the birds, or just looking at the green, right? Or buying a flower, just simple things, right? Just invoking that love energies that is within that sacred chamber of your heart and your higher heart, thymus area. Beloved and presence bright, round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I'm calling forth wildfire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the wild flame. Beloved and presence bright, round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I'm calling forth wildfire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the wild flame. Beloved and presence bright, round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I'm calling forth wildfire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the wild flame. Thank you, Saint Germain. Thank you for the dispensation of the wild flame, the sacred wild flame of transformation, transmutation, everything that stands in our way of ascension, everything that stands in the way of being healthy, happy, prosperous, right, can be transformed, transmuted through that powerful violet flame of freedom, also forgiveness, joy, liberation, moksha. As we're transitioning, right, we are exiting that phantom matrix, that false matrix, that false AI, the computer simulation. It's the harmony universe number 2, right? Soul connection, consciousness expansion. Living in peace, unity, balance, harmony, glory, God's glory, Christos Sophia consciousness. The wild flame also helps us to release all the cellular densities, right? All these karmas, or the impurities. I mean, the miasma. The miasma, that's all these attachments to the physical world or to people, right? Emotional imbalances, right? That's also what it works with, emotional imbalances and disturbances in the mind. Remember, with the warrior projects, we're dealing with the mind that has been compartmentalized, right? Has been invaded by AI, right? The neurons, the psyche, right? And then, of course, it was monitored and programmed, mind control, the thought adjuster, running the metatronic reversals based on mathematics, which is not correct sequence. This is not correct math. That's all the Dracos of the negative faction and the fallen Anunnaki, the fallen angelics, the Anu Elohim. So I'm doing it for my soul group, of course, collectively, planetarily, galactically, right, on the galactic level. And they're also on their spiritual level, guys. It's a 4-body system, so we're doing it also on that physical plane, the astral, right, the emotional plane. That's where they are even kind of messing up with our soul, with our emotions, of course, right? People are now being angry, probably frustrated, irritated, and all the negative ego. That's how it builds the negative ego, right? The structure of the negative ego, that's falseness, that's who we are not. But look how many people, right, full of jealousy, envy, greed, and then hatred and lust. There's a jealousy, envy, yeah. But we have to be compassionate, right? We have to be compassionate with all that. And that's, brings us into that 0-point balance, and that's how we can transform and transmute it. Because we've been programmed, all this guilt, blame, and shame. All this dogma, right? The dogma, the religious kind of stuff. It's all to control us, manipulate us, dumb us down, put us in a fear. And of course, these very harmful things also in those, injections. It lowers the frequency vibrations, right? We have the graphene oxide. We talk about the, the intra-body nanotechnology with the nano communication, all kinds of things. I'll go over that. But like I said, love conquers all, and cultivating connection to God, to Source, choosing the Ascension, choosing the enlightenment, choosing health, choosing prosperity, choosing abundance. Know that that's all is within us. That's how we were designed, right? The kingdom of heaven is within. Abun abun de bashmaya nitka de shamoch. Tete ma kutach nechwe tibiana aikana de bashmaya ahbaad. Havlan lach madasun kanani umana. Wash boglan chaubain wachtahin. Aikana davchanan shwachan lahayabain. Wala taklan nesina. Ela patsan min bisha. Mitul de lachem malkuta. Wachei la watashbuchta. La alam almin. Amen. That was Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art Satchitananda, thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptations and to control the mind. Just start being in charge of our thoughts. Very important, right? It's in my also disclaimer, and that's what I talk about. Observing the mind, watching our thoughts and feelings and emotions. What are we projecting? What are we creating? Because not with all these energies, everybody's responsible now. Right? I'm sure lots of people are still on an automatic pilot, but we are learning, or we're understanding, oh my goodness, or what are our thought forms, right? And even like our behaviors, our deeds, guys, that's what then it's in our aura energy field, right? And some people can read it. You don't have to tell me things. I mean, I just start having conversation with you, and we can pretty much scan things, right? So this is the work that we do, the Starseeds, the Galactic Warriors, right? The Truth Seekers here, also the Warriors of Justice and of Peace. And we are the Guardians. Okay. Just, taking care of this planet, of this galaxy, making sure everything is now aligned with God's divine will. We are bringing the cosmic divine order here through the universal laws, the cosmic sovereign laws, the law of one. And we're going back to the Emerald Covenant, the Emerald Order, right? That was also the Stargate 12, Armathena Lyra, the cradle of human civilization. Right? Back then, billions of years ago, and of course, because of the Galactic Wars, Orion Wars, million years ago, and now dealing with the Luciferian Covenant, right? That's around that the cataclysm of Atlantis because of abuse of dark matter, highly advanced technology, the crystal technology. Right? So everything needs to be then corrected, but first we need to acknowledge all that, embrace that, and have those spiritual tools, right? How to work with it and resolve it and be okay with it. Then just because we can overcome all that, how to be in that heart, in that center, and start co-creating the new earth. Okay, so you can also say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in a path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And that's for all spiritual warriors. You gotta have connection with God, with source, with what is, and you have to know yourself. You have to, be master of your energies, the master of your mind, of your thoughts, right? Even of your feelings, emotions, right? All integrated, all synthesized, in total perfection, totality, and completeness and wholeness, right? Into that, being connected to that cosmic heart of Father, Mother, God. So let me quickly go over the notes. There was a couple of videos before that, right? I talk about, that was Ricardo Delgado, and we talk about the nanotechnology, the full field of neuroscience, the AI, right? The robotics, the DARPA was founded in 1958, all these advanced research for technical superiority, but kind of devoid of God, of spirit. So that's why we are balancing those energies, right? We need to bring that divine justice also online, because the good ETs are using this highly advanced technology, but they're helping us with healing, with the transformation, having fresh air, good energy, pure water, pure soil, okay? And they help us also to detox from those very harmful nanobots of those negative aliens, right? We talk about the Dracos, because anytime whether I'm tuning to what we're dealing, all these technologies, right? And I just see, the negative aliens, and their technologies hundreds and thousands years in advance. Okay, that's why with the Galactics, the ground crew, we're here because we're dealing with the elite, and we're dealing, with the controllers groups in the invisible world. For that, we need to understand and embody the universal laws, the law of one. Okay, having God's sovereign free boundaries. That's why I created the New Earth jurisdiction. That's why I have the Ascension Guardian protocol for you guys. Those who are kind of on that path. And also, but we have to heal ourselves first, being in that divine neutrality, right? I talk about PTSD, time to heal. Very important to write things down, everything that triggers us, or having those really bad memories, the flash, right? The memory flashes. And I do the japa mantra meditation is what I connect with. Also dealing with sacred geometries, yantras, mantras. Okay, what else, the quantum manifestation, right? That's the quantum technology. Marina Jacobi downloaded that information about nanotechnology, harmonic reactor. So that's for those scientists who are more on that scientific path, right? But again, these are 10-dimensional. The Dracos, I don't know if I'm going to find them again. The Draconis, Alpha Draconis, Seeker Empire, okay? So that's why we have to deal with the nanotechnology of those higher dimensions. They're extremely powerful. They're extremely intelligent. They are psychics. They are shapeshifters. So that's why with the 3D or even 5D, we have to go triple, even double, triple, quadruple, just to neutralize these energies. Everything that has been now, it's transpiring that everything that's been happening here with all these wars, nuclear wars, and the infiltration, and the Nazis, right? All these World War I, World War II, and then the wars in Middle East. I mean, such abuse of power and authority, right? So that's why I'm just kind of teaching it more on that quantum level, interstellar level, galactic level, right? So again, those were the spiritual galactic warriors, indigo warriors. Those are the ancient races, right? The Oraphim here, we're coming with 24 strands of DNA. And We already came with 6 and 7 chakras being activated, being telepathic. We came through the whole of Amente, okay? And we are here to do all these corrections. Me also, talking about the sexuality, if I have time, right? Because there's so much information, we need to correct that sexual energies, because we had the sex misery kind of beast technology, right, that was hooked to those satellites and to that moon, and running reversals, dark matter, that was the dark mother reversals, the Baphomet, right, and all these demonic entities. That's why here all these families were hexed and practicing Satanism, Luciferianism, drinking adrenochrome. And here we have to become again yogis or yoginis, union with the divine. This is my path, yoga and Ayurveda. This is my background, and dealing with the good ETs, with their highly advanced technology to help us heal, do all this correction, transformation, so then we can enter the new golden age, okay? And I'm resurrecting the energies of Lemuria, Atlantis, the ancient Egypt, right? But unfortunately, again, we had these infiltrations, invasions. We're dealing with master races and the fallen angelics, again, of highly advanced, with highly advanced technology, and of course, coming from 11 dimension, 10 dimension. That's why you guys, for people, humanity, to go to that 4, 5, 6 dimension, right? We talk about the 5D Earth or Nova Gaia, or Nova Gaia 7D, 7 dimension. We need to have our avatar selves already being established in our avatar selves, okay, which is the 12th dimension, and with the help of solar rishis, right? Such as Sai Baba, Mahatavar Babaji, deathless yogi on a path of immortality. So we talk about the all these nanotechnology that is being then, of course, put into our bodies, right? It has nano routers, and it's and then it can be registered on your phone. We talk about those MAC addresses. It has unknown MAC addresses. That's let me see, those are my other notes. So these things also, they have nano antennas. It's for signals, for nano communication, right? And it goes to a server, and we can also be actually remotely controlled, and that's the surveillance, the monitoring, the good guys are good, but also the negative ones, right? They had the access to monitor our organs, our energy, our nervous system, our behavior. They could control it, manipulate it. That's why that was part of the MK Ultra, Monarch, and Montag, right? And the Mockingbird, that's the mainstream media. So so people are playing video games, so what that is, okay? That's actually a kind of a copy, or it's the kind of in the smaller version, what is then happening to humans, right? With these all kinds of nanobots, nanochips, holographic inserts, that actually we are also emitting all kinds of signals, right? And that goes into data, into the super quantum computers, okay? And of course, the dark fleet or the satellite, then they have access to all our biology, to our neurons, all these transmissions. They can control our behaviors, our emotions, right? Being depressed, or anxiety, addiction. They can even increase the addiction, right? We have all kinds of food additives in the food, all kinds of poison, GMO, chemtrails. So this, just kind of being educated about it, very important. And of course, the material is, we talk about the graphene oxide, right? And it's extremely toxic, and it absorbs radiation, right? EMF from the EMF, like also the 5G towers, the radio frequency, okay? And of course, the graphene oxide, what targets? The heart, the spinal cord, and the neurons, okay? and it can replace the natural neural network. So because the graphene oxide is extremely conductive, it passes through the blood-brain barrier, and it's very easy to go into each and every cell, right? And the body has its own intelligence, but unfortunately with the AI, with the technology of the negative faction, including the CRISP technology in the military, the gene editing technology, right? They're confusing the body's intelligence, and then of course body exhibits all kinds of, whether strange behaviors, strange diseases, and all these imbalances, right, in people, being also possessed, obsessed, demonic entities, all kinds of stuff, guys. Remember, from the astral plane, the low astral plane, it's full all these phantom what is it, demonic spirits, okay? The earthbound spirits, those who work with those kind of energies, or ejecting entities, okay? So this stuff is real, okay? So, and let me see, the graphene oxide nanoparticles, they're so small it can pass through the brain barrier and get access to our neurological network, okay? It breaks neuron synapses, and brain can be mapped, and they can even what is it? You can be scanned. It can scan your memories, your thoughts, your emotions, and your feelings and sensations. So yeah, we're now in the age of AI, right? And just like nobody told us. And to me, doing yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, kind of doing that very naturally, okay, and also being in nature, and meditation, doing the inner work. And suddenly, right, I came across this whole, the military, and then the abuse and everything that was done to me, and without really knowledge, without informed consent, even though in those those higher etheric realms, right? This is my assignment, right? Being the experimentation, look what they're doing and what it does to your body, what it does to your neurology, how it then affects your behavior, and it lowers your frequency vibration, all this poison, right? And so how we then heal ourselves, how we get out of this mess, how we get out of that phantom matrix, how we then neutralize those bad nanobots, right? And feel our true divine nature essence. So that's kind of my project, that's my assignment, okay? This is my mission. And so the graphene oxide, it can be stimulated remotely, right? So some people, like like a puppets, you have to tell them what to do, and that's part of the transhumanism, right? The depopulation, okay? And we're being dumbed down, the digression, like just like the Zetas and Greys, some of those races digressed, because otherwise it was the Dracos or the Anu Elohim, right? Again, playing with this kind of technology in a very dangerous way, disconnected or disrespecting natural laws. This is what happened, not only to us, humanity, but other races, okay? And it's still wirelessly. It can still remotely and wirelessly by the 5G, the microwave source, right? The signals go to external server, right? And of course, that's how they're collecting data. And so that was the Ricardo Delgado. That was La Quinta Columna. I talk about it, I guess, I don't know, like a month ago and things like that. And here we have Mick Anderson, same thing. So there's so much research, there's so much data. That's why I talk about it, because it was crazy. Oh, I am full of the nanotechnology, and just being monitored, and how come this is the motherboard now? I'm in touch with the Ashtar, then of course with the elite, and it's just like the war going on, and it's just having of course all kinds of channelings going on, or all kinds of downloads, but at the same time, whether it's the interference, so I have to constantly call the Galactics and invoke the Galactic Codex, right? The divine intervention. So it's been interesting lifestyle, like interesting life that I had. So some people thought that I'm crazy, or I'm not doing anything. I'm constantly meditating, trying to do these videos, right? Nobody really understands what in the world is happening. And this is part of the ascension, right? Like the ascension protocol, part of the process. We need to start being educated and know about those kind of things, and having that a connection to our heart, right, to that source, and having ET contact, and through the Galactic Codex, right, you guys, there is an access, right? Just call upon also the Galactics, call upon angels, the ascension guides, okay? And they're here to help you, right? Whether you tune into these energies or they bring you into situations, it gives you aha moments, or you meet a person, right? Or there is some surprises happening and you feel your energy being lifted up. So very important to say thank you, right? I forgot the 5D protocol. We're walking those energies of love and faith and trust and grace and gratitude. Remember, there are people in the inner earth, right? Whether it's the Telos, the Telosians, the Igartha, the Igarthians, right, of the good faction. There's a portal, right? It used to be all these tunnels, but then it got corrupted because it got infiltrated by the negative faction, right? Also the black dragons. So, but now the solar rishis are here online, and with the cosmic solar dragons, right, our true parents. Those are the Christos founder races, right? So they are protecting humanity, protecting the earth, their solar system, the planet, this galaxy, yeah. And that's why, when you study again the law of the balance in Galactic Codex, right? The negative ones, right? They already were informed. That's what it is. They got information. They were informed. Now they have to accept the Galactic Codex, okay, and look at the consequences of their actions and help us again to make this world a better place, right? Make America great again, and of course help humanity heal, right? And get to this higher consciousness of thinking with highly advanced technology, of course, but that it cannot be abused anymore. So that's why we need to be in a space of love and compassion and peace, okay, to have free energy technology. And again, the Tesla towers, and with their levitating cars, and spaceships, spacecrafts, all this reverse engineering, okay. But we have to raise the frequency vibration. We have to be in that level, right, where we can hold the line, like we're the column of light shining bright. That's why working with the shadow, right, the shadow self, the pain body, the trauma, guys, that all needs to be released. And I'm here to help, of course, the ones who were extremely abused and violated and tortured and controlled, whether in the military, right? Also the Super Soldier Project, and also, of course, the sexual abuse there, military sexual abuse, right? So all this raping there, and then of course those guys received lots of the injections, right, with the graphene oxide. Also, to me, it's also connected to the CCP, the Chimera group there, with those underground bases, DARPA, robotics. But again, and we're dealing multidimensionally, so I'm just kind of giving you just like a brief kind of scenario. This is what I am translating, this is what I'm seeing, okay. Each of us has to do our own homework, and like I said, this is interdimensional, extra dimensional, right? This is like 10 dimensional. That's why we need to go really even above that, right? So very complicated, very complicated. So he is talking about that those individuals who got this, that there are actually broadcasting unknown MAC addresses, right? It appears on their Bluetooth. Or if you actually, you can actually, sometimes you turn on Bluetooth, we have your Bluetooth Androids, right? And then you see unknown addresses, maybe somebody who got this, right? See, you got the transmission from that person, right? Because they are emitting all these interesting signals because of the graphene oxides, the nanobots, okay? So that's what he was also saying. And the broadcast is of course variable. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't, right? So all this emission happening, we are talking about the nano communication. So similar information from Ricardo, right? And nano communication, it's present inside the body, And so the body then emits all kinds of data, but also receives all kinds of instructions because of all the nanobots, right? Is the intracorporeal network, the nanosensors, the nanonodes, and of course the graphene oxide is the main component of it, because it really goes into each and every cell, right? There's no like boundaries. The cells cannot protect themselves from that graphene oxide. And the graphene oxide is superconducting, right? It has all kinds of antennas and it absorbs EMF. And then through that, through all these, then we can be evaluated, right? Our organs, and the let me see, the function of our brain, of our heart. Like I said, the graphene oxide got affinity to your brain, to your heart, and to central nervous system, right? And even to your spinal cord, right? With the peripheral nervous system. So, and what else he's saying? Yeah, this the carbon nanotubes, those fibers overcome blood-brain barrier, and it can detect electrical pulses in the organs like brain, your heart. And he talks about the AI exons can be created. So the artificial intelligence, the AI in your brain. Okay, so the direct programming, that's what happens whether with the super soldiers or, the special operations. Those guys are in those, psyops or the Black Sun operations. So, transhumanism again. We talk about the transhumanism. And so the body, start losing its own intelligence, right? And that's why I'm talking about it, because the same thing happened to me. Used to be so connected to God, to source. God is great, and yoga, and suddenly you are like around the black goo, right? Total tears in your aura energy field, disconnected from God, from source. I couldn't even meditate. What in the world happened to me? I was very angry and very depressed, and just kind of furious about those kind of things. Like, what in the world happened? Somebody will give me some information, some explanation, right? And finally, right, in 2022, because I've been struggling since 2013, right? 13, 14, 15. I know I was also in Massachusetts getting all kind. That's why I was happy for some of those who were doing channelings for me, so I could start kind of remembering something, right? And that was coming through my DNA. So, but luckily I went back to yoga, Ayurveda, cleansing, clearing, purification of my chakras, going back to nature. Luckily I had that money from divorce on my bank account, because it does takes time. It costs a lot of money. This is not an easy project, not an easy transformational work. I know what it takes. I know how it feels, because I was in those situations, right? I already experienced all that. That's why, my videos, I'm sharing my experiences and everything, the data I've been collecting, and just having the whole picture now in front of you, connecting all the dots. And, with these wonderful researchers, right? Scientists, quantum scientists, there are here, bringing everything online, like they're informing us. And that's why I'm very much connected to this kind of information, because it reminds me, what happened to me, right? Yeah, it affects your psyche, your thinking, your behavior. And these guys, the negative ones, they can collect data obtained through the nanonodes and nanosensors, right? And you receive information from the outside because of the micro antennas and all those signals. And because of the routers for the broadcasting, the micro nano routers for the broadcast. Okay, so what happens? You start creating AI DNA template instead of the organic ones. Okay, so that's why we talk about the damage of the DNA. So we talk about rehabilitation of the DNA. Okay, and then I'll reread something else. Because you become hybrid, then you become walking AI, right? The transhuman. Okay, disconnected from God, from source. We also talk about these guys that are running base mathematics, all these reversals, right? When you see Marines, guys on the street and the military, they're crazy. And so if you examine their aura energy field, or if you would even examine their bloodstream, they have all kinds of those nanobots, the graphene oxides, right, emitting signals, by the same time receiving all kinds of things as well. and those the negative faction, I mean the aliens, right? They're pretty much playing with us or playing with them, just like people are playing video games. Same thing, they're just pushing the buttons, right? Collecting all the data information. They have super quantum computers on their spacecrafts, right? Because having a spaceship, guys, this is like you have a car or you have a bike. This is for them normal. Okay. And of course, Tesla had his labs back then, even in 1920s, right? There were other scientists and other scientists who actually designed levitating devices. Okay, so this is nothing new under the sun. And so you become hybrid almost. The brain activity is monitored, all these remote services for collecting data. It controls your psyche. So this wireless nano communication network for intracorporeal nano devices is for like two goals. This guy, was it Mick Anderson, is saying, is to monitor and collect data, neurology, cardio, and data of neurology, cardio, and physiology, facilitating the transmission to remote servers and databases on the internet to form the big data and its analytics through AI software, and to interact with individuals in the neural section and the human psyche. So there is another website. You can go to richplanet.net if you're interested, right? Because here we're talking about the intra-body nanotechnology, and it can actually assemble itself. That's why we talk about the Neuralink, the Nazi Neuralink, pretty much. That's what done, especially to those guys in the military. Now we have this thing going on that there'll be some kind of chip in the brain and all this metaverse and smart cities. So we're dealing with highly advanced technology, and we have scientists that are proving that all this research paper is there, right? All these verifications, all these confirmations, so nobody's going to escape. Like, I'm saying, we're exposing everything, right? And disclosure 100%, no stone unturned. And they just pretty much, they can assemble it for the brain modulation. They can even reconstruct, I guess, the neurons, the brain signals and everything. Instead of being the natural organic way, is going to be AI. Okay. And then of course the soul disconnects, and of course they can dispose of you, right? That's what happened to me many times. But looks like, I already worked with the Pleiadians, the Arsta Command back then, growing up in Eastern Europe. And then when I was really, really in a trouble, January 2013, again, I called about Arsta Command, and it was unbelievable. All these, the hyperspace hologram, how, oh my God, I don't know whether I was in space or in my body, and all these operations on those motherships, right? Spaceships. I don't know how everything had to be, again, in whether upgraded, because everything was monitored. Like the negative ones are monitoring us. The good guys now are monitoring the negative ones, what they are doing, but they're already prepared, right? With the technology, they can either neutralize it or upgrade it so this body stays alive. Okay? Because I'm sure even my soul siblings in MC, right? In those corporations, planetary corporations, and this whole psyops and black ops, for them, if they need to eliminate somebody, for them it's like a real deal, right? And here we go. Continuing my mission here, my walk, my path, my eating, and even my working, driving a car, and just creating my videos, I'm saying? So what I had to deal with, right? Now it's time for them to start working on themselves, like healing and correcting all these things, and make everything possible so we can ascend, because the evolution is here, okay? The ascension is here. We have the plasma the plasma frequency, the gamma rays frequencies, the photonic light, okay? We have the solar flares, you just name it. We are ascending no matter what. And of course, there'll be people either ascending later. Of course, there'll be people still maybe refusing it or kind of rejecting it. So of course, then they eject themselves. It's a path of self destruction, and all needs to be honored because God's sovereign law. What I'm saying? It's like with the free will under God's law, the loving co-creation, the 12 base mathematics, the original tree of life, the original DNA. Okay, this is what is happening. And and also we never know all the surprises. People are probably flipping. Those maybe who were dark heads now will be white heads. Those we thought maybe they are white heads, maybe they're gray heads, and maybe they will even enjoy the dark heads. You just never know. Very important to really work on ourselves. That's why the inner work and just kind of healing yourself, so that you can be of service, you can help others, like the internal work. For me, it's very automatic. Be in your heart, in your center, and do the inner work, the energy work. Now, the new technology, so this was channeled by Marina Jacobi, right? The hybrid. So we have the new technology for Ultra Mind. It's the multi-holographic laser with impulse frequency for the ultra state of mind. And they're, of course, targeting certain areas of the brain to pretty much heal the compartmentalization of the mind and to help these guys from that MK Ultra to heal. See? So, you know what I'm saying? The good guys are here. It's like already ready. It's like, the technology is here to heal. And so they're actually monitoring or targeting the left hemisphere of the brain because it's connected to adrenal, not adrenochrome, adrenal with frequency to produce an ultra state where you can heal. And it's a state of peace and rest. And that's how they, you can start also get the original blueprint of their DNA. And that's the bioregenesis. We talk about the rehabilitation of their DNA. So the technology of the ETs, the benevolent ETs, is already here. Okay. And so the cells, right, okay, will be restored and regenerated, and they will they will get the blueprint. They need the blueprint of the DNA. Ultra mind storage. It controls the subconscious state of being. That's the first chakra. So of course you have to work with your chakras, with your energies, right? Chakra purification. Maybe do some bija mantras. You start with lam, vam, ram, ham, yam, om. Right? And start reawakening these energies, right, within your chakras, your energy centers, the whirlpools of energies. And we're cosmic, we're galactic, we're interstellar. The stars is coming, we're seated in those stars, in those galaxies, whether of this universe and there are other universes, ultraverse and multiverse, guys. So don't limit yourself, right? There's no end to ourselves. We are eternal. We are limitless. Yeah? So. And then compared, let me see, it's compared to then the archonic structure, the negative aliens, right? With that ultra mind technology, they actually create that ego, which is the pain body, okay? The shadow self, all this dissociation and what is the multiple personality disorder, dissociated identity disorder, all these psychopaths or, problems with their psyche, okay? And that keep those guys in total control, like the Marines, right? This is, again, my experience because I was supposed to be a Marine or assassin or super soldier. I mean, they're just playing with you. I mean, like, what in the world is happening? Just pushing buttons. They have highly advanced technology, whether the Zetas, the Greys, the Orion group, just name it, the fallen Anunnaki, the Anu Elohim. And, this is not fair. That's why what I'm doing, even though it's crazy, hardly anybody understands, we cannot heal or we cannot do the jurisdiction on that 3D, 4D, even 5D level. It's not going to work because we're dealing with highly advanced aliens, unfortunately wreaking havoc in the entire galaxy or solar system, planet, because all about control, manipulation, but also observing humanities and, just kind of growing up here, being in this earthly plane. I mean, the humanities are copying, right, with this negative ego, with the addictions, with the mind control, and just the jealousy, envy, and everybody just the physical, the 3D eyes, and all this fear going on. And I just, wow, 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 wow. We need to really start becoming smarter, and the spirituality is extremely important, and being in our heart, and really just kind of showing what you can do, with once you connect with your inner Christ, that inner self, the kingdom of heaven is within you, right? Malkuta, Malkuta. So, and. Anyway, so we have these new methods to restore the mind, the soul, also the soul and the will, right? That all needs to be recovered, and also they need to recover their memory. Important to restore and build your pure mind, free thinking, free thoughts, right? All is possible. So the super mind, super advanced technology, the ET technology, this the ether technology, quantum science, positive AI, right? And through positive frequency and sound and vibration, right? That's the AI organic structure or organic hologram, right? You can then kind of harmonize those brain waves, okay? And clear those signals of that negative AI. And that will connect you to the supermind through this kind of technology, okay? And they use adrenaline for positive purposes, to expand to expand the consciousness. That's why imagery, very important, of yantras, mantras, the sacred geometries of rishis, yogis, right, of the Himalayan mountains. So it's just that's what I also did, surround myself with healing arts, and with sacred geometries, like the yantras, Shri Yantra, okay? You can Google it, you can print it out, mandalas, coloring mandalas, guys. You can then synchronize, you can heal, you can rehabilitate. And, right, so these imagery source from pure consciousness. So there's this 15-minute repetition to crystallize, stabilize one synapse. So it will take some time. So this is not like an overnight thing, okay? And they can finally start feeling true reality, because so many people, they do live in illusion, right? And even here, like dealing, whether with my roommates or just normal people like at work, or even massage therapists and all kinds of addictions, right? Coca-Cola, Dunkin' Donuts, and white sugar, buying all these cakes, and of course, there's the alcohol thing going on as well. So for those who are really sensitive, I can't afford. I just loving grace, right? We're now aligning with the law of grace, kind of exiting all these karmic patterns, whether we download it from our parents, and of course from that ancestral lineages, right? Even me, like the elite, and the Cabal, the Illuminati, the master raider races, right? We need to kind of rehabilitate our DNA. We need to now become spiritual beings. Because we are spiritual beings having human experience, going back to God, to source. So it's all bringing love into those synapses, right? So we're dealing with metastructure, with the metaphysics, quantum physics, quantum science, and that's the modality to convert resonance to positive structure, to positive, right? And then to neutrality, 0 point. That's a God matrix, the source of our Genesis, into then Trinity, right? Oneness. It means oneness, right? How you get out of that duality, connect to God, to source, and then you feel the unity with all that is interconnectedness, right? When you study universal laws, I'll just go over some of the universal laws: the law of divine oneness, the law of vibration, the law of action, the law of correspondence. Everything is interconnected, guys, because I know there are some also beings, my friends, they kind of, what happened, with my dad? They just kind of don't want to address that, and I can see that whether the triggers, shoving things under the carpet, right? That's also the creation of the ego, and so on. Law of cause and effect, like everything is accounted for now. Like we're exposing all these things, so nothing is going to be hidden. Like everything is coming to the light, everything is coming to the surface, right? The law of compensation, attraction, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Here we go with the violet flame, Saint Germain. Everything can be transformed, transmuted through that divine neutrality, being in your heart, in your core, in your center, through God, everything is possible. The law of polarity, right? Also the law of rhythm, right? The cycles, right? We're exiting the Kali Yuga, entering the Satya Yuga, the age of truth and peace, okay? And of course, the law of gender. I mentioned that they were also the negative ones kind of messing up with the law of polarity and the law of gender, and now you see the transgender thing going on even in children. Of course, it happens with this and it happens with GMO, okay? But all can be corrected. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. What else I promised to share with you? I do, for me, yoga, going back to God, to source, that's for me the way to go, because it's ancient, it's scientific, for self-improvement and self-realization, okay? It means union with the divine, returning to wholeness, to oneness, okay? And we are pretty much meeting the lower self, or transmuting that ego self, right? So then we can connect to our higher self, our oversoul, and our avatar self. So here are the stages, right? And so, exiting pretty much the personality matrix here into the soul matrix, and then of course into your oversoul matrix, and then your avatar self, right? And here the solar rishis coming from the pre-matter, but because we corrected the galactic core, we corrected the dark matter, we corrected the magnetic field, right? The divine mother, holy mother is here. Now we have an access to the Godhead. So extremely important. And talking about the 12th tree of life, right? The infinity here, okay? And the lotus structure, not the what is the flower of death or the daisy of death, whatever, that's why I don't even the matrix, I mean, all the what they call about the what's the word for, like the geometria, or how to call it, because there is so much imbued with the archontic structure. You really need to be at least like 10D, 12D, just to kind of override the entire the structure of the archons, right? And also, the pedophiles, and also the Freemasons, actually, this structure, right? The G in the middle, right? So what happened with one of those I was having the session with my soul star sisters. So that energy, right, the so-called the masonry, I mean, it's all in that inversion, right, going back to light, to the 5-pointed stars, right, going back to the Pleiades, okay, the 7-star sisters. So that structure has been corrected, right, includes the sacred geometry, because of course they use the swastika, right? People think, oh, it's swastika, it's Adolf H, right, the World War II, but in the real original structure, it's actually Buddhism, Hinduism, and means happiness and peace. And so many people who actually study the Hinduism, or in Asia, in India, they put it on that sign on their homes. And I know Ganesh, in his palm, he's the healer, right? But they're sons of Shiva. He has his there's a wheel of eternal life. Okay, so you have to know the difference. Very important. And here we do yoga to maintain physical health, right? Good health and well-being, and increasing knowledge of oneself, extremely important. And mental health through harmonizing the body, mind, and soul connection, right? So we have the ultimate goal of yoga is to become one with your divine self, right? With Christ's self, and with the universal mind, the cosmic mind, or cosmic heart. So that's our original design. That's our divine blueprint. That's how we were created, guys. Okay? Very important, the discipline, the observation, and tuning to the all-knowing presence. Okay? I talk about the ethics, the yamas, right? The social ethics of non-violence, non-deception, non-stealing, conscious sexuality, right? So we'll go over that conscious sexuality next time. and non-greed. So those are the ethics, right? And the inner discipline, personal practices like purification, like cleansing, clearing, purifying ourselves, right? Contentment, so it means also be grateful. The gratitude, very important. The discipline, the self-examination, the spiritual attunements, right? It creates a conscious way of relating to one's world and to oneself. And you're refining your personality traits, okay, the morality through morality ethics, and that's also how you restore your true divine DNA, right? All these horrible behaviors and the criminal activities and being involved in pedophilia and money laundering and all this murdering and being on drugs, it does damages your DNA, and people don't behave properly, okay? And of course, good let me see, you want to generate good karma, and that will put you into dharma, the path that's your purpose, your passion, to live in harmony with nature and the universe, thus eliminating any symptoms of depression, sadness, confusion, chaos, okay? So then we have also the physical posture, right? The asayana, and then we have the pranayama, the breath, the life force energy, guys. So many people are maybe looking for some kind of relief out there, outside themselves, and being mindful, aware of your breath. You can still your mind in a way for a little bit. It takes time. It's a practice. And so that's how it prepares you for deep meditation. Both the asana, the yoga posture, and pranayama brings the body into relaxed state and mental stillness. So the prana, the life force, is a natural healing force. Prana mimics the mind and emotions, and the other way around, right? When people have a shallow breath, they're in stress. You can see the interconnection. But when the mind is disturbed, confused, and scattered, prana is also disturbed, confused, and scattered. When the mind is focused, you're focusing the prana also. You do deep and long inhalations, exhalations, right? Breathing is the most powerful tool for accessing and balancing prana. Pranayama during posture enlivens and energizes the body and creates a state of balance and well-being. So by breathing with the natural expansion and contraction during yoga posture, prana begins to come into harmony and balance within the body. Conscious breathing and deep breathing, very important, brings deep relaxation to the body and of course to the mind, to your emotions. It facilitates healing and expands your mind, your consciousness. The pratyahara, withdrawing senses from the external world, okay? And that's why you do the inner work. Here you focus on your bodily sensations. That's called vipassana, some of the meditations, right? We have the transcendental meditation, right? Or the vipassana. Some people are not even aware of what they are sensing, what they are feeling. But the breath will help you to align or make you aware, conscious, mindful, and also what I'm projecting, what I am thinking, what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling right now like this. Being in your heart, right? Giving yourself extra love. Herzlichen Dank, that's German. Say thank you, being grateful. Feel the heartbeat. Right? So the self-love, self-care, the forgiveness, so important, and being compassionate with yourself, with everything that happened to you and everything that transpires. We have to be compassionate. And so, right, the deeper connection to the paying attention to its subtle urges. This creates space for the individual to release stored and repressed negative emotions. Now you're starting being aware where the emotion sits. Where is in the mind, somewhere in the body, in your heart. I know when, my intestines are under stress, right? It's like watching my eating habits, what's going on. Do some fasting, drinking distilled water, have some superfood. You have some smoothie, okay? So then we have the dhyana, meditation or absorption. That's the uninterrupted flow. of concentration on a particular point. Meditation is both healing and preventive, as it helps one quiet the mind, relax the body, and expand the consciousness through self-growth and soul development. So many people, right, the stress and hurry, and also the food, quickly eating, right? And then I have to deal with this, pay insurance, pay bills, and now I want to buy this, a new app, and we have this new the thing in the bank, and another insurance, and it's just, yeah, guys, just centering yourself, right? Just letting everything go. Ooh, this is a hologram. This is a snapshot. It's like a computer simulation. If you guys don't have relationship with God, with your heart, with your soul, if you cannot pause, you're on an automatic pilot. That's the computer simulation. You're in a phantom matrix. You're in a false reality, or the blended reality. But when you withdraw, right, pratyahara, and now you're observing, watching, witnessing, and you're breathing deeply. You inhale, and then you exhale, and namaste, being in your core and being centered and focused and balanced. The kingdom of heaven is within. Now I have time for myself. Ooh, so dedicate yourself to that spiritual practice so you can exit that nonsense, the chaos, the confusion, the inversion, the perversions, all these reversals. And how we could also transmute the negative ego. And then, of course, I talk about the mindful meditation, the vipassana, right? You're focusing on bodily sensations and being in the present moment, concentration, being focused on internal, external object, and bring wandering mind into focus, right? Focal point. It may be accompanied by prayers and chanting, and that's what I do. Chanting, japa mantra meditation. Om Namah Shivaya. I'm a being of wildfire. I am the purity God desires. I'm beautiful. I'm bountiful. I'm blissful. You can also do it inwardly, in silence, or aloud, right? So see how you feel. Positive affirmations when you do them aloud. Right? You just start strengthening your will, your core, your power that comes from within, with connection with your soul, having your solar plexus strengthened, solar plexus, right? In your heart chakra, heart center. And then the transcendental meditation, it was designed by Maharishi Yogi, right? In the 1960s, to quiet your mind, to cease all the mind chatting, focusing on a specific mantra, achieve deep state of relaxation that leads to enlightenment. And that's how we reach the samadhi, the union with the divine, the Satchitananda, the Ananda, the bliss. Okay, it's a state where a person through sadhana has achieved his highest state of awareness and becomes totally absorbed and united with the entire universe. As salt dissolves in water, so the mind dissolves into the supreme soul and becomes one with it. Hatha Yoga Pradipika. My beloveds, we'll continue next time. Many blessings and namaste.